iPhone 15 Pro. Every rumor about the iPhone 15 Pro and iPhone 15 Pro Max, which are expected in September 2023. The 2023 iPhone 15 Pro and iPhone 15 Pro Max. Apple in 2023 will continue on with its 4 iPhone lineup, debuting an iPhone 15, iPhone 15 Plus, iPhone 15 Pro, and iPhone 15 Pro Max. As with the iPhone 14 Pro models, the iPhone 15 Pro models will have features that are not available in the more affordable iPhone 15 devices. This roundup highlights everything that we know about the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max based on circulating rumors. The iPhone 15 Pro is expected to measure in at 6.1 inches, while the iPhone 15 Pro Max will be 6.7 inches, identical to the iPhone 14 Pro models. So far, it looks like the iPhone 15 Pro models will have an updated design, with Apple introducing thinner, curved bezels and a new titanium chassis. Apple is also expected to add solid-state buttons that will use haptic feedback to mimic a button press. The 3nm A17 chip will be exclusive to the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, with the iPhone 15 models using the same A16 chip that's in the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max. All iPhone 15 models will feature the dynamic island and will also transition from Lightning to USB-C, but the iPhone 15 Pro lineup will include an upgraded USB-C port that features USB 3.2 or Thunderbolt 3 transfer speeds. More RAM is expected alongside the A17 chip, but all iPhone 15 models will use the same 5G Qualcomm modem chip technology for connectivity. For the most part, the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max will have the same features, with one major difference: the telephoto camera lens. Both models will include telephoto lens technology as part of their 3-camera array, but the iPhone 15 Pro Max will have a periscope lens that will enable 6x optical zoom, a notable improvement over the 3x zoom on the iPhone 14 Pro models. Part leaks and renders. A photo of an iPhone 15 Pro with USB-C port surfaced in February, giving us our first look at the design of the device. The USB-C port doesn't look too much different from the Lightning port in the current iPhone 14 Pro lineup, but it's interesting to see the similarities. The image shows off the deeper curve that Apple is expected to add to the iPhone 15 Pro models, and it has a brushed metal finish that could be the rumored titanium chassis. Leaked front glass panels, designed for the iPhone 15 Pro models, give us some insight into the thinness of the bezels, and there is a noticeable difference in size. Thinner bezels will be limited to the iPhone 15 Pro models, with no change for the standard iPhone 15 models. iPhone 15 Pro renders published by 9to5Mac provide some additional perspective on the design changes. Thinner bezels are expected around the display, and there could be some design tweaks to the volume and power buttons to account for the new solid-state design. The camera bump is expected to be thicker, with thicker lenses to accommodate camera updates. The iPhone 15 Pro models are expected to feature a unified volume button design as part of the new solid-state functionality. Renders demonstrate what the single button could look like, but these may not be the exact design Apple has settled on. There is also expected to be a notable change to the mute switch, which will no longer be a switch but a button. Based on renders designed from CAD drawings of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, the device could be slightly thicker than the iPhone 14 Pro Max, with small reductions in the height and width. The iPhone 15 Pro Max is expected to be 8.25 mm thick, 0.4 mm thicker than the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The camera bump may be slightly thinner than the iPhone 14 Pro Max camera bump, and as we've seen in renders of the iPhone 15 Pro, the edges are expected to be more curved. Bezels will also be somewhat thinner compared to the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Design details. The iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max are expected to look similar to the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, with 6.1 and 6.7-inch OLED displays and a dynamic island cutout for the camera and Face ID hardware. There have been rumors of some tweaks to the chassis of the two Pro models. Leaker Shrimp Apple Pro has said that the iPhone 15 Pro models are expected to feature thinner, curved bezels compared to the iPhone 14 Pro models. The displays would remain flat despite the slimmer, curved edges, a design likened to the Apple Watch Series 7 and Series 8. The iPhone 15 Pro's bezels are expected to measure in at 1.55 mm, which means the device will break the record for the thinnest bezels in a smartphone. The iPhone 14 Pro, for comparison, has 2.17 mm bezels. Titanium chassis. Instead of stainless steel, rumors suggest that Apple will transition to titanium this year, using it for the frame of the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max compared to stainless steel. Titanium is lighter and stronger, but it is also more expensive because it is harder to work with.